So, what are the things that you need to concentrate on as top priority to run a successful esports organization?
I think the top thing to focus on, you said, right? So I think the top thing to focus on is, well, I'll speak for a new team. For a new team, you've got to just win. And to some degree, you have to be a little ruthless in your pursuit of winning, right? If a player doesn't work out, if a coach doesn't work out, you got to cut them immediately. My mistake in that regard was twofold. First, I delegated all of the game decisions to my general manager. And that was a terrible mistake because for a small company, for a startup, the CEO needs to be involved with the quote unquote product, right? In this case, the product is a team. Kind of delegating that completely was like a giant blunder on my end. Not to say that I could have done better, but a lot of the issues you find in esports teams is more interpersonal between young males, teenagers, or young adults. So it's something that I happen to deal with in my past work history. So I felt that I should have been way more involved there. So the first part is like, don't delegate the most important thing. The second thing to focus on is basically, I mean, ruthless sounds like a harsh adjective, but I was watching like the TSM. There's like a TSM, or there was like a Riot Games production on Reggie the other day I saw, and he's just talking about like the struggles he's had this season. And even with a great team like TSM struggling a little bit in sixth place, shows you just how competitive one game League of Legends is, right? In North America, I mean, it's competitive globally now. So, what is it going to take to make it in this league, right? It's not just money. I think it's just you got to be really ruthlessly picking out win conditions. So for us, we were more, we're more like we had a more holistic approach. Like better humans become better athletes, and I still believe in that. But at the end of the day, like yoga isn't going to win you a game. But yoga is going to be. I think yoga is like very important to the overall development of a player. But at the end of the day, if I had to pick one thing, it would be like in-game leadership. So that's the hardest thing to find and assess. Like what player has the best in-game leadership? Sometimes you might not find it out there, and sometimes you might have to choose to develop it. But with the way things are going, especially in the LCS, you don't have like a year luxury to make this happen. You have to make really good calls in the off season, and that comes with experience, judgment, and things like that. And that's going to be really hard. So therefore, you need to like if you make a mistake or you make like a wrong bet, you need to ruthlessly kind of change your decisions. And I think this was a great learning experience for me too. Is how far am I willing to go to win, right? And I think in this case, I wasn't that willing. I wasn't willing to go that far because for me, I still think Ember was a success because every single player they left as a better person, and they all tell you that, right? And of course, like they lost in playoffs, they look terrible. The internet hates them, but when you ask them one on one, they actually felt better. Now their future is kind of like in jeopardy. They have to figure out the next teams and things like that. And I hope all of them have a successful offseason to land in the spot. I think they're all like coachable and they all have talents, but yeah, it's very difficult to be kind of like ruthless and like in a situation where there's a lot of humanity and emotions involved. I definitely think I'm capable of doing it. It's just I figure out what I want to do and what I don't want to do. Right? Like there's a certain point where I just don't want to go past because it's not worth it for me. Even if it makes me money, like it's just that's not worth it for me to like devastate someone's career. And then maybe that means I'm a terrible esports team owner, right? Because if the competition is so hot, you kind of have to make the right choices to win, to be a good steward of capital for your investor because they just want to win. But at the end of the day, I guess one of my lessons learned is, what, for me, it's not all about winning. It's about winning the right way, my way. And maybe my way isn't aligned with other teams. Maybe it isn't aligned with certain investors, maybe my investor. But at least I draw the line of who I am and what I represent and what my company represents.